I'm your Jesus-loving and potty host, L.A. Sprague. Welcome to Christians with Chronic Illnesses.
Dory!
Here!
Hey! Oh my goodness, hey! Dude, this is so exciting! Thank you so much for being able to interview with me. This is so fun.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Oh, me too. How's your day going?
Oh, really good. I did my swimming. I took a little rest.
That's awesome.
To work outside. It's a beautiful day here. So,
Aww.
yeah. How about you?
I'm good. I'm very tired today, but I was like, I'm gonna do this interview. I'm pushing through, so
Same.
yeah.
Don't give it up here, girl.
Oh, thanks so much. Aw. Yeah, thanks so much for being willing to interview with me. Dude, I thought it'd be so fun if we started by telling the story of how we met. So I kind of want to hear it from your perspective because I know my perspective, but I want to hear it from yours.
Story everywhere.
I love it so much. Okay, so how is it from your perspective?
Oh, okay. First of all, before I start, do you go by Leah Ann or Leanne?
Leah Ann.
Leah Ann. Okay,
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I don't hear correctly, and I'm like, it says Leah Ann, but it could be pronounced. I don't know. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
What do I know?
No, that's great. So yeah, maybe go ahead and tell us your name, and then
Yeah.
maybe
Hey
we
everybody, I'm Carol Fitzsimmons, otherwise known as Fishy or Dory, and I had the most wonderful surprise meeting about 2 weeks ago tomorrow, I believe. I was taking myself on a picnic at Mohican State Park after my prayer group, just spending some time with God and nature, one of my favorite things. And another favorite thing that I like to do is connect with people. And I saw Leah Ann and her friends sitting on top of the picnic table by the river. And I'm like, hey, girls, are you camping? What are you doing? Where are you from? And they told me they were visiting her friends' family from Mansfield nearby. And so I just welcomed them to the hood. And Leanne was like, well, what are you doing here? Are you camping? And I'm like, no, I live like 30 minutes away. And I just come here to talk to God on a regular basis. Aww. And they both smiled and they were like, that's so cool. And I'm like, that's not a reaction I often get, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
And then I believe you asked me, Leanne, what do I talk to God about? And I said, well, there are a lot of things weighing heavy on my heart today. A lot of friends going through issues. I said just a lot of issues. And I said in my own personal health. And then I proceeded to tell you a little bit about my kidney transplant miracle. And then you said, may I ask you a question? And I'm like, of course. You can ask the Dory anything.
Oh.
So she asked me if my kidney transplant had to do anything with a chronic disease. I was like, yes, ma'am, absolutely. A lifelong battle.
Yeah.
And then you proceeded to tell me that you were starting this podcast on Christians with chronic diseses. And my mouth went from a Dory mouth into a largemouth bass. Because I was like, what?
Right.
That's what I remember.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love hearing your perspective. That's so cute. And it was actually like heartwarming to hear like, oh wow, like that was actually that was a good conversation. Yeah, okay, so that's so cute because so from my perspective, me and my roommate, we were just swimming and at one point you were at one table by the swimming area we were. Me and her moved to a table to dry off, and you had walked over and you were like taking a picture with like the river or something, but you looked like strangely like close. And so I was like, okay, either this person's like socially awkward or they like want to talk to us. So I wasn't sure. I was like, either she's like just, here, or she's like trying to strike up conversation. And it turns out it was right on the second. because then you like, it's so cute because you just started chatting with us and asking how we're doing, and you asked like what you can pray for us about. That really took us aside.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, because we were like, we didn't really know this girl, but yeah, it was actually so sweet. And so, yeah, I think all the rest is what you just said, but I just think it's so funny because initially I was like, who is this lady? And then it was like actually a really cool, wholesome experience. And here we are. And Dory, I just think it's so cool because like this idea of this podcast has been in my head since probably around like last December of 2024.
Okay.
And so I've been slowly like doing research and like just thinking about doing this for my health and also for other Christians with chronic illnesses. And so meeting you, like, it's such like a divine moment, kind of thing. And it really felt like God was like, okay,
girl,
like you can do this. So yeah, so you're such a sweet provision. So thanks for meeting with me.
Yeah, is this the first one?
No, so you're the second recorded. Well, technically, I also recorded mine as well. So technically the third. But I interviewed Keith Sciarillo first. So yeah, I'm sure you'll see his interview soon. But you're the first person with chronic kidney disease. But
wow,
why don't you tell me first about yourself and about your faith in Jesus? What's your journey been like?
Oh man. Well, I am one of those blessed people who was raised in a family where I was taught the love of the Lord from day one.
Aww.
And
I love that you frame that as a blessing. That's cool.
I think about it a lot. It's like, that blessing to have had the Lord in my life, but it's like my experience and my relationship with Him has continued to grow, and through having a chronic kidney disease and being diagnosed with kidney failure when I was 17, that relationship just grew and grew because I had to have the hope, because if you don't have the hope of Jesus and of healing, like whatever way He may choose to do it in your life, because I believe there's many ways He chooses to do that. And I just feel like without my faith, I would not be where I am today. Like I may have given up, because it took me from the time I was diagnosed with kidney failure, which was, I was a senior, starting my senior year of high school. Wow. So I was 7 years old. Probably had it my whole life, dealt with fatigue my whole life. I couldn't do things other kids were doing. I was, small town swim team in the summers, and I always came in last. It didn't matter how hard I tried.
Yeah.
But finally, my parents took me to a doctor. They discovered it was kidney failure, and I had 50% function at that time.
Wow.
Moving forward the clock, it wasn't until I was 36 that I received my transplant.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's a very progressive disease, with fatigue being the main thing. Eventually, in the spring of 2000, they had to remove 3 of my parathyroids, a parathyroidectomy. Say that 3 times fast.
Okay.
Yeah, don't. I nearly died from that surgery because that controlled my body, and I was sent home too soon, and I could not absorb the calcium quick enough to replace what the parathyroids do.
And how old were you at that point?
I was 35.
So on the side at 35.
Yeah, that was at 35, and I was squatted back to the hospital, which is an hour and a half from my home, twice, because the second time it happened to me, I knew you're going back for IV drugs, because anyway. So what that resulted in, when I went back to the hospital, my kidney doctor came in. He said, this is it. This is the last straw. You have to go on dialysis. This is an emergency. You have less than 2%, maybe 1% kidney function.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was just kind of being like, I knew I had it, but kind of put it off, and not really denial, but kind of like, I got this. I'm still teaching full time. I'm living my life. I'm tired, and I know it's really gross, but I puked myself silly, like just nauseous and just not up to par. Like I knew things were going on, but after that surgery went wrong, it's like it took the final toll on my soul.
Yeah.
So I remember being in the hospital. I'm like, Lord, don't let them do the surgery tomorrow, because they chose to do peritoneal dialysis, which is entry in your abdominal region. And you literally have to have this 2 or 3 foot hose connected to your body and like taped to you.
Wow.
A transplant. So that was like the stark reality. Like,
wow.
Yeah, it was like I was told back when I was 17 I was going to need a transplant at some time, but I didn't know what that meant. I was like, whatever,
Yeah,
like,
you were young.
yeah, I'm like, my pastor, prayed for me, laid hands on me, even back then, and I took faith in that. I understood a little bit, but not to the full extent until you're actually in it. And I just remember praying that, like I didn't want to go through it, but if the Lord knows how to heal me, or if this is the treatment I need, let it go well. And at about that same, I had the surgery. I went back to work. At the time, I was teaching special needs preschool in a sort of a rotation basis. I was going to all the different preschools in my little area of Mount Vernon, Ohio here. My very first student I had was placed in a little county preschool, and the teacher there, her name was Janet. So we kind of worked hand in hand. I came in and helped one-on-one with the special needs children, and the regular teacher. So I would go to all different preschools, like maybe 15
that's cool.
every week.
Yeah.
So one day, this was shortly after I had the surgery for the dialysis and was starting the training and everything. And the name of the school was New Hope. You can't make that up.
Aww. Yeah.
And I had known her like for 9 months. And she says, one day on the playground, we're just out watching the kids play. And she says, I want to be tested to be your kidney donor. And again, my mouth flew open.
Right.
I remember the exact moment. This is 25 years ago. And I'm like,
wow.
Nobody's talking about this. People aren't asking for organ donation like they do now. Like, really common to let people need a transplant, things like that. But back then, it's like I didn't even have email yet. So,
whoa, yeah,
or a cell phone for that matter. It's like,
yeah.
And I'm just looking at her like, "What? Are you crazy? Like, you've never had surgery in your life and you want to give up a major part?" And she's like, "Yes, I love you. You're my friend." She's like, I want you to feel better. I'm like, feel better? Oh my gosh, you would save my life.
Yeah.
So we went for all the testing.
You would literally save my life. Yeah.
Literally.
Wow.
And I still look back sometimes and it's like hard to believe because, I waited all this time and here I am on the transplant list. And typically the transplant list can take a minimum of 5 years because the waiting list is so long. And I was just like dumbfounded.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like thinking, whoa, God, this is like amazing. And then she was the only one tested. She was nearly a perfect match.
Wow, Dory. Yeah, that's incredible.
I know. So thankfully, the dialysis only went on 6 months for me.
Wow.
And the surgery went beautifully. She did great. She's still doing great.
Yeah.
The life I have lived since transplant, the people I've met, the things I've been able to do, I wouldn't wish kidney failure or organ failure, any disease on anyone. But it is also, it's like definitely turning lemons into lemonade because I cannot imagine my life without my huge transplant family, which you have yet to hear about. So
yeah.
We're starting with my transplant sister, so now I call her sister. So
Oh.
yeah, I think our best joke all these years is her kidney has been in so many more bathrooms than the rest of her all over the world.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. And I'm also kind of dyslexic because her left kidney's on my right side. And I vote opposite, which is pretty funny.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
so funny. Dude.
And like, faith is like it's just God's love and the Lord Jesus, they're just the thing that has been
Mm-hmm.
my rock, even though I do stupid things and
Right.
he says you shouldn't do sometimes, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
uh, yeah, it's like I became like this whole new person. Like most of my life I was, believe it or not, really shy.
Mm-hmm.
Even
Yeah, that is surprising.
yeah, people were like, "Were you a cheerleader in high school?" I'm like,
Nope.
no. I was just the you know, good little student, worked hard, but things didn't come easy, but I did well because I worked hard. And,
Right. Yep.
you know, I was the babysitter for all the coaches. I was the little front row Lutheran. We actually did sit in the second row, but most people are called back row Lutherans. But anyway,
That's funny. You were the front
yeah,
row. You were the
my
front row
family
though.
was strict. I'm like, you're right up in front. You're going to pay attention. But
Yeah.
again, I'm so grateful for that background. That's what led me to wanting to be a teacher. I ended up getting my college degree in Christian education and also in elementary education with a master's in teaching children with special needs and early childhood.
Yeah.
And I did that for many, many years, continued it 17 years after transplant.
It's incredible.
Not transplant, it would have been curtains for me. Like, I don't know how much longer I could have made it. And I don't know, honestly, how long my weight would have been on the list.
Mm-hmm.
And another cool thing about having a living donor is you can be assured of a really, really good match because you can do more testing and you can background and all of that cool stuff. And then, where I was going with that.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Well, that's all. Yeah, that's so beautiful. So I have a few questions. So what I want to get to is that I remember you had told me at one point that you want to emphasize the hope that faith gives you. Before we get to that, though, I would love to hear your journey. So you said that you were really fatigued and you mentioned a lot of symptoms like as a kid, like, when you were like swimming, you could hardly keep up even though you tried your hardest, and you have sounds like chronic fatigue like your whole life. So what was like the process of getting diagnosed? What were some of the signs that your parents were finally like, all right, we have to take you to the doctor?
A lot of it was like I had to go to bed really early. Like, I mean, what teenager goes to bed at 8:30, 9 o'clock at night?
Yeah.
And I just didn't have the energy. I'm not sure exactly, but I know they first took me to a urologist because my dad had problems in that area. So they took that out. And then when they did all the icky urine tests and all the blood tests, they sent me to the nephrologist, and that's, I'm 17 years old and they're telling me you're going to need a transplant. We don't know when. It could be next week. It could be 20 years. I mean, that's a lot to take in for old. And then they also said, and it was heartbreaking the first time I heard this, that you really should never have children because pregnancy is so hard on your kidneys as a regular functioning person, that if you have a child and you go through pregnancy, you could lose your life, you could lose your baby. There's just so many risks, so many high risk. And again, that broke my heart because being a Christian camp counselor, wanting to be a teacher, and then my parents' reaction was kind of like, well, maybe you should go into something like accounting so you won't be so stressed.
Oh.
So, and I was good at that because my mom was she was a bookkeeper for a long time. She didn't, anyway. So my freshman year of college, even though I wanted to be a teacher, I kind of went in with the business major. And I knew, especially after I worked at the camp the following summer as well, I'm like, that's not for me.
Yep, not what you really wanted. Mm-hmm.
I have to be with the young children. That's what I want to do. And I'm not like, something in my mind told me, don't cave.
Yeah.
With a very strong mother, that was very hard, but
yeah.
I convinced them, and went on with my education, and the fact that I made it through all that and so many years, and I was able to get married. I did. We did get pregnant. Well, I didn't, but
right.
Yeah, and unfortunately, one of the biggest, how do I want to say, heartbreaking things about my kidney failure was, that was in 1991, but my kidney failure did cause me to go into very early labor, like 4 months early.
Wow.
Yeah. And we had named him Nathan because it means gift from God. Was born 4 months early. He weighed 14 ounces, fit in the palm of my hand, and he lived 49 minutes because 34 years ago, they were not even attempting to save babies that weighed under a pound. That was just a rule. Yeah, I don't know what it is now, but and I do remember I wanted to donate his little organs to save another baby because I knew I had the kidney issues. But they explained to me that he was just too small.
Yeah.
This day, it's like I so wish I could be a donor family and honor, have something good come out of a tragedy.
Right.
That's one of the other amazing factors of organ donation, is because obviously if you need a heart or lungs, and some kidneys come from deceased donors, and also livers most of the time, and we call it people who have had a family member pass and make that decision to say yes to organ donation. We call those our donor families. And they're very, very special people to me because I understand both sides of the coin.
Yeah.
So I know what the wait is like to receive an organ. I know what it's like if you don't receive an organ, because I've had many friends pass while they're waiting.
Wow. Dory.
Yeah. And I of course I knew, the loss of an infant, and it's not always an infant. Sometimes it's somebody's mother or sister or brother or cousin or uncle, aunt, or, it could be a teenager. But the fact that one of the things we emphasize with people when we talk to them about making that decision is nothing is going to change your tragedy. But out of that tragedy, God has made our bodies so that we can have the potential. One person can save 8 lives via organ donation. They can also give sight through corneas to 2 people. How cool is that?
That's incredible.
And a lot of people don't know this, but you can enhance the lives of 75 plus people through tissue donation. Yes.
Wow.
That's like, bones in the neck, bones in the back sometimes come from deceased donors. Babies that are born with cleft palates receive a special tissue. They use that to repair the baby's cleft palate.
Right.
And they also use, and it sounds gross, but you're gone. Your body is, you're not your soul. So your skin is used for extreme burn victims.
Wow.
Wounds. And it's just the whole thing that you can make that choice to be a part of that miracle.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
it's
then,
so incredible we
yeah,
can even do that. Yeah.
yeah, it is. It's just incredible. And I tell people, I'm like, when you get to heaven, the Lord says you're getting a whole new body. It's a spiritual body. It's not gonna be, you know, you're not going to be broken. You're not going to be having pain. I don't know.
Hallelujah.
Yes,
No more
ma'am.
fatigue, please, Lord.
I don't know,
So tired. Yeah.
what we're going to look like or whatever, but
Right.
I know like our spirits are going to recognize each other, and what a cool reunion that will be.
Yeah.
And just I just so passionate about life, and
Oh.
that educating people about what is done for me and the things I've done, the people I've met are incredible.
Yeah. You're incredible, Dory.
Uh, no, I'm just a little fish in a big pond.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you're pretty incredible.
I think you're incredible too.
Thanks. Oh. So you were 17
Yeah.
and your parents realized, all right, she's going to bed really early.
Yeah.
And obviously, physically lacking in some way that you were falling behind.
Yeah.
They took you to a bunch of different doctors. And finally you were told that you have chronic kidney disease, right?
Yeah. Chronic glomerulonephritis.
Say it one more time.
Chronic glomerulonephritis.
All right, chronic glomerulonephritis.
Yes, that means the little glomeruli are the filters that clean your kidneys, clean out the fluid that passes through your kidneys, cleans toxins. And my 50% of my filters, my little glomerulites, it's kind of a fun word. How bad is it that I know what that word is? But anyway, they had died off, and my kidneys were extra small.
Okay.
And I'm kind of a small person. My brothers are 6'5" and 6'7". I'm 5'3.5". So yeah, something wrong with this picture. So often, not always, but often, if you get kidney failure, especially as a child, you don't grow as tall or as well. These toxins in your body, which also affect your muscles, your eyesight, like your kidneys affect everything. It's absolutely your hearing.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just, and then, once you have one body part that's in failure, it's your heart works harder, or your lungs.
Yeah.
I remember waking up. Oh, this was the other sign. I was waking up. I remember even a small child waking up with extreme pain, in my legs, it felt like in my bones. My parents would come in and rub them down in the night and things like that. And I haven't had that since transplant, so that's good. But
wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, so one of the signs, and then just being pale.
Okay. Yeah. So it's just because there's a bunch of extra toxins in your body because the nephrites. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
No, the
glomerulites.
Glomerulites, because those are only working 50% of the time or something. You said 50%. Yeah, so all the extra toxins that are affecting the whole rest of your body.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow. So that's
feel sick. Yeah.
Yeah. My first thought when you said that was that's so complicated because, if you go to a bunch of different doctors, you go to an eye doctor because you have a problem seeing, you go to a hearing doctor, an ear doctor because you have a problem hearing, you go to, I don't know, probably some sort of what are they called? I don't remember. Muscle doctor, because your legs are hurting in the middle of the night, and all of that from kidney. I can imagine that. I'm so glad. Yeah. How long from when your parents went to the doctor the first time to your diagnosis? How long did that take?
Pretty much the first time that they took me to the kidney doctor, they knew right away. Okay.
Yeah. But that wasn't the first doctor you saw, right?
Right. First, I started out at a urologist. Right. And they did the testing and realized from my blood values that it was a kidney issue.
Okay, gotcha.
They sent me to the University of Cincinnati Kidney Clinic, and I had to go. I don't remember how often, but I had to go quite often and get tested. And it was so scary because you would walk into this clinic, and I was from a small town in Indiana, but just across the border, Cincinnati, and you're going into this clinic where most of the people are like, I would describe them as definitely ill, and you're seeing you're seeing the dialysis machines.
Yeah. Wow.
And man, is this my future?
Right. Yeah. This is sooner than I think it will be. Yeah, that sounds scary.
That just reminded me of something that's going to blow your mind.
Okay. Blow my mind, Dory.
Yeah, so I was in the 3rd grade. My little brother was in kindergarten. And they used to do a thing with Betty Crocker coupons on the top of, like cake mixes and things.
Okay.
They would collect, and like different places would collect them, and then they would get money from these coupons. So we went door to door for I don't know how long, like a year, and we collected all of these coupons. And it was shortly after my diagnosis. My mom had kept this little article. It's me and my little brother, knocking on the doors. And she's like, you have to read this. And I was like, okay. So I'm reading it. And we had collected coupons for our local county hospital in Different County, Indiana. Guess what they bought with those?
What?
A dialysis machine.
Oh, that's incredible.
That was way before diagnosis.
Right. Oh.
God works in mysterious ways.
Yeah.
That's just completely.
That's so wholesome.
It's like, whoa. And who knew I was going to need one? Like,
right.
I did mine at home. I did they didn't have the peritoneal is what they called it then, but little machine. I had to hook up to it every night, and I had to be on it.
Wow.
So
from 17 to what, 34, 35?
No, I didn't start dialysis until actually 6 months before transplant.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I didn't actually cave in and agree to that until after. I know. Until after I had my thyroidectomy that went all crazy.
Yeah.
It didn't have a choice. It was like, you're not leaving this hospital until you agree to have a dialysis port put in.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And that was in this. I remember the surgery had been on actually a leap year. So yeah, February of 2000, I believe. And then it was by March, my spring break here as a teacher, my spring break was dialysis training.
Wow. So why were you so hesitant towards dialysis?
Because I knew it was limiting, and I was quite afraid because I didn't really understand what I would be doing. Yeah. But I mean, I did it. I went to work every day and every night for 12 hours. So, if you're getting up at 6 a.m., think about it. You're in bed at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
So your days are very short.
Yeah. Tell us about dialysis. What is it? How does it work?
Oh, well, for me, I had the tubes. I didn't have the blood dialysis where you hook up to go to a center.
Okay.
I had to do it myself. So I had to train myself to do that at home. And I had to hook up to a machine, and I had to put these big bags of fluid. So the fluid, basically, you put it into your body, and then it pulls out your toxins.
Okay.
Yeah, it kind of takes the place of your kidney, but it doesn't really do a great job. It doesn't open you alive.
Right.
Yeah, it just keeps you alive, basically. And because if I had not done it, I would have been 6 feet under.
Yeah. So, I'm glad that you your stubbornness calmed down for you to be able to say okay.
It's good and bad, because that's how I survive a lot of medical junk. I've had 29 surgeries that started with that parathyroidectomy.
29 surgeries.
Yeah,
Okay, so what's that? What's with that? What's all the surgeries? Wow. Is this all because of the chronic kidney disease?
A lot of them are related. Like I had a detached retina because I was on steroids for so long.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, so could you not see?
No, like all of a sudden, like on my left eye, I couldn't see.
Oh my goodness, Dory.
I have glaucoma in both eyes. It's cost for the medicine, so you trade off some.
Right.
Yeah, I've had like urinary tract surgeries. They had to like stretch my urethra, but it didn't make me taller, even though that. Yeah, I have had to periodically have like kidney biopsies. Like sometimes if your numbers go wacko, they'll go in with a needle and just take a biopsy of that and check it. I had a tumor in my left ear that grew out of a blood vessel. It was this.
Wow.
It came out of nowhere.
And was that related to medicine or anything, or you don't know?
Nobody knows.
Wow, I hate that.
I like it was so ugly, and I'm like, people, you got to get rid of this. This is like, the chicken growth on my ear. This is disgusting. Like,
yeah, right. I
hear well, so
yeah,
it ended up being just a benign thing. I've had breast lump biopsies. I had 6 surgeries on my legs, the ablations for blood flow.
Wow.
And,
for blood flow.
Yeah, my blood flow was going down. Like my legs were purple-ish.
Okay.
Yeah, like it looked like I had bruises all over my legs. Yeah, and it hurt to stand, and I was teaching.
Oh my! And why was that? What was that caused by?
That was let's see, 2015. I had the surgery in 16, but 2015 is when I noticed it getting really bad, and I kept asking doctors, and they're like, "You're fine." I'm like, "I am not fine." So I saw an ad for Artemis Vein Center on TV, and I'm like, I'm gonna give them a ringy dingy. And I walked in, and he's like, "Step up here," and they did this like ultrasound immediately. Like he's like, "I know exactly what your problem is. Your blood's going down at the normal rate, but it's taking 3 times as long to get back up." So I was having all these severe migraine headaches and like just pain.
Yeah.
Every time I was standing.
Wow.
So I'm like, something wrong here. And he says, "We'll fix that." And so I don't think they call it an ablation. I don't know if it's the same thing as vein stripping, but they went and basically like opened up my veins and told me, he's like, "Young lady, you're lucky to be alive because this could have caused a stroke. Think about it. Your blood flow not going back up to your heart and your brain and everything."
Yeah.
Right? It's like, whoa. You could have had, a stroke. He named all these things, and I'm like, oh, well, thank goodness. So I fight because of that, and just other things like taking care of my mom who had cancer and things like that. Eventually, in like January 2016, I had to take a medical leave of absence, and I ended up leaving my teaching job. It broke my heart, but it was just too much. It was like the kids were great. All that was wonderful. But, between taking care of my mom and just spending hours and hours on, paperwork, I'm like, I don't want to do paperwork. I want to be with my kids.
Yeah.
I want to do things. I want to be creative. And, that was a really tough time to get through. But
that sounds really difficult. So you had to leave a job that you really enjoyed because of your health and because of taking care of your mom.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a lot. So, but, looking back, it's like, it gave me like the last year of my mom's life, like literally like a year to spend with her, every day and not be exhausted when I would get there after school. And,
so a blessing in disguise, sort of.
Yes. Yes. So, I had to look at it that way.
Yeah.
Just another thing God allowed me to have, and which I think is pretty special. So
yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of stories that you can tell. I mean,
right.
I totally relate because so with POTS, it's actually interesting that you were talking about the blood flow issue, and the reason that's interesting is because that's exactly what POTS is. POTS is where your veins don't constrict enough. They don't constrict tight enough. Or there's, I don't know, I think there's several kinds of POTS, but your blood rests at the bottom of your body. And so it's not getting to your heart and your head. And but it's like, it's a chronic issue, and there's like no cure for it yet.
Yeah,
But, there's and so it was interesting to hear you say, what was that surgery that you got?
They call it an ablation.
Ablation. Okay, that's interesting.
Yes,
And you
so
said
I
they
don't
like
know if that would help you or not,
right? I
but
don't know. And they widen the blood vessels, huh?
yeah, I think that's what they did. Like
Yeah.
something to do with, they go in and do something with the veins or blood vessels, or I don't know, something.
Yeah. And your migraines went away.
I still have them,
Okay.
but that's probably, some of that's still kidney disease, because I do have stage 3B kidney disease, because I've had my kidney, it'll be 25 years October 6th, which is miraculous. And I get to become a member of the Quarter Century Club.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, Dory.
It's a very exclusive club.
That's awesome.
You have to have another person's parts to get in. So.
Yeah, that's incredible. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so tell me more about the difference between chronic kidney disease and just kidney failure, because you had said in our pre-interview that something like a lot of people misunderstand is like, it is exciting, it is wonderful when you get that transplant, but it's not quite the end. So I know you already talked a little bit about like, the parts of you that are supposed to process those toxins. It's like only working part way. So tell us more about what is like chronic kidney disease, and what's the difference?
Chronic kidney disease, I don't know if it's always chronic or not. It's good question, but I know mine is.
Yeah.
It's because with my particular disease, I'll just use myself as an example. The disease transplant does not go away. With my disease, they left my original kidneys in, and sometimes with other kidney diseases, they'll remove original kidneys because they pumps and they grow very large. They have to remove them. But with mine, they left them in. They just kind of disconnect one, and then they hook up. Your new kidney goes in your front lower quadrant, in what I call the bikini zone. So, yeah, like most people think they put it in your back. Nope.
Wow.
And one of the cool things about our surgery was my donor and I, Janet Patrick, were one of the first laparoscopic kidney transplants at the Ohio State University Medical Center.
That's cool.
Which makes it's a lot easier on the donor to go laparoscopic. They don't even do it the old way anymore, because they had to literally cut you from the back around to the side to do the nephrectomy to remove that kidney. So, it makes it a lot easier to recover from the surgery, really, for both people, which is great. And what was I going to say? Oh my God.
No, that's okay. That's still such a selfless act of her to do. That's incredible.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay, so you were talking about the surgery, okay,
yes.
and where they place things. But what's like the difference maybe between the result of someone,
the thing is your kidney disease doesn't go away because your other kidney is still in your body. And what they told me was that disease will oftentimes transfer to the transplanted kidney.
No.
Yeah. So they're not sure if that's exactly what's happening with me, but a lot of times some of the reasons that people need 2 and 3 kidney transplants or more. I have a friend waiting on his 4th. God bless him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
There are lots of many reasons. Sometimes there's rejection because of the anesthesia you receive when you go through surgeries, and it causes a lot of scar tissue. The medications you take, even though they keep you from rejecting your organ, they also go through all your organs. So they cause damage to your
Oh
organ.
my goodness.
Sometimes
Wow.
kidney recipients will also need a liver transplant because they try to give you the medicine that goes more through the liver as opposed through the kidneys. So,
Oh my goodness.
or you could get a
Wow.
liver and need a kidney. Like my best friend,
Right.
the double lung recipient, he's been waiting on a kidney for 14 years.
14 years.
Yes, and he's had his lungs for 29. Yes. Uh,
Wow.
yeah, I can't even imagine. He's my hero. But
Oh,
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. So I pray for him every day.
Wow.
We met in 2003. So
Yeah.
long friendship, even though he lives in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah. My Jonathan, he's my hero. To go what he's gone through, I'm like, I have been through nothing compared to him.
Oh.
I mean, nothing. Um, yeah. So it's like the medications, going through different surgeries, all of that has an effect on your organ, and of course your
Wow.
lifestyle. That's another thing that I like to tell people who are struggling with chronic diseases is doing your best to eat healthy, to be active, to get into the word and get into your faith, to connect with other people, because another part of this whole puzzle is depression and anxiety, and
Oh
I do
my
have
goodness.
both of those.
Yes.
And I have had to fight them, losing my only child, never getting to have another one, having my husband walk out because he just
Wow.
couldn't deal with everything. There's a lot of rejection. Even though
Wow.
I
Yeah.
take anti-rejection pills, you cannot say no to me. So people do anyway.
Oh,
Maybe they
yeah.
didn't get the memo, but So sometimes relationships can be strained too, and then sometimes they can be strengthened. It just depends on you know
Yeah.
your your other person's faith also. So and how you
Yeah.
handle stress and how you handle issues.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So how have you found hope through all of that? Because, you talked about how you've lost a job, you've lost relationships,
yes,
you've lost some quality of life, like you're
yeah,
tired.
yeah.
So how does Jesus give you hope in all of this? On a
Uh,
day-to-day basis when you're
yeah.
having symptoms or when you have
Right.
someone walk out or when you have people who
I
misunderstand?
think it's just like this inner strength that I feel from the Lord. Like when I read the word, I'm in an intercessory prayer group. Most of my friends are Christians and we pray for each other. We're very open about our faith. And I try to do a lot of like giving back. Like I serve as a donate life ambassador for Lifeline of Ohio. And what we do is we educate people about the facts and myths of organ donation, and we go to fairs, churches, groups, schools, teaching kids what it means to say yes when you sign up to be an organ donor on your license. It's like that's now a law in Ohio. They have to be taught what that means because they're being asked that question and they don't have a clue what it means. So
Yeah.
we give them real life examples, and I encourage them to I may not, well, I still do it. I board anyway, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, even though you're not supposed to sometimes in public schools, I do it anyway.
Talk about the
Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah. Because that's my story, I'm like, I'm not going to leave
Right.
out my faith is my story, but I mean, I don't
Yeah.
preach or anything, but I just include that.
Right.
And, a big part of my message is, if you had someone in your life that you loved that was dying because they needed an organ, number one, would you want them to receive an organ from another person to keep them alive? And if you could keep them alive, would you keep them alive?
Whoa.
Or if you needed to be kept alive, would you want someone to say yes for you?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. And, there's no greater love than he who laid down his friend.
Yeah.
That's the verse I connect with my donor Janet, because she literally did that.
Oh, yeah.
I know. It's like so amazing. It's just,
Wow, so selfless. Yeah.
yes, it's incredible.
Yeah.
And I mean, so many things in my life have been, I've mentioned my transplant family, and that happened because I love this. It's so fun to like kind of relive like this whole year saga.
Oh, I love that.
But
Yeah.
it's so fun to have someone actually listen.
Yeah, I love it. Let's hear it.
Yeah. So
So
um
cool.
after I was on dialysis, so it was like putting sugar water in your system overnight, like having a milkshake every night as you're sleeping, kind of deal. Yeah, it's like, but you don't get to taste it. It's
Right,
like,
that's so sad.
yeah, but it's, so you just like, I gained like all this weight, and I was just an average size 6 to 8 person. And then when I came out of transplant, like right now I weigh like 107. I weighed like, my normal was like 125, 130 ish.
Yeah.
So when I came out of transplant, I weighed like 205 because
Wow.
water retention, and then I was on heavy doses of steroids, um, which make you want to eat everything that's not named.
Yeah.
I would get up at night and have 2 breakfasts. And then my neighbor across the street, he would say, "Hey, Miss Fishy, you want to come over for your third breakfast this morning?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll be right over."
Oh my goodness. Oh.
So long and short of that was I started exercising, and swimming was something I always loved to do, but I hadn't really like, I would get in and just play around the water. Like, I hadn't swam laps since I was like, 16,
Yeah.
16 or 17, something like that. And then when I was on dialysis, I wasn't allowed to swim,
Wow.
because I had these open tubes coming out of
Right. Makes
my,
sense. Might have
yeah,
been hard to do much of anything.
yeah, like, I don't know. I would need a special bubble seat or something. I don't know. But yeah, just virtually impossible because too much. I mean,
Yeah.
the risk of infection.
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
yeah. The risk of infection is ridiculous with that. But so I started swimming, and I'm so blessed because where I live, we have a really nice 25-meter pool. And so I started swimming laps. So I started swimming like,
Yeah.
I got up to a mile, then it was like 2. And I went to the doctor. This was almost a year after transplant. They're like, "You are looking great. What are you doing to lose this weight?" And I'm like, well, I'm still eating a lot, but I'm walking with the dog, and
Yeah.
I'm swimming like a mile a day. And they're like,
Wow.
"You need to go to the Transplant Games." And I was like,
The what? Yeah.
And they're like, "Well, it's like the Olympics, and it's for transplant patients who've received an organ, and they compete in all types of sports against each other from all over the USA." And I'm like,
Wow. You're
"That's
like, okay.
when and where is it?" So this 2001 in the spring, and they said, "Well, the next one is this summer. It's the World Games in Kobe, Japan, but you have to be out a year, and you're not going to be out a year until October, so you can't go to that one.
Aw.
Having a little Buckeye Transplant Games in Columbus, so you can go check it out."
All right.
So I did that, and like, I won like all these little medals, and I was so excited. And my donor went with me, and she got to present me with the medals.
Oh, that's so cute.
Track and field, and I did swimming, and we had like bowling, like, it was so fun because it was really the first time I got to gather with other transplant patients and do so. And it was phenomenal. It was like immediate connections. The people were great, and they're like, "Well, next summer you have to go to Disney World. That's where the games are." And I was like, "What?" Like,
Awesome.
really? They're like, "Yeah." So there used to, it's kind of funny because back then there was this commercial, the big commercial on TV saying, "What are you going to do next?" And it was like, "I'm going to Disney World." So
And you were like, hey, I'm going to Disney World.
I'm like, I hadn't been since I was 7 years old. So,
Oh,
yeah.
cute.
So I met my friend Kimberly, and she goes by Burley, from the Cleveland area at a team picnic for Team Ohio, called Team Ohio for Life. And we became like best buddies. We're both swimmers. And so we decided to make our own shirts. And she decided she would be Burley Bass and I would be Fitzy Fish because my last name is Fitzsimmons.
Aw.
So like just about immediately, like it just got shortened to Fishy.
Yeah.
That's how that happened. So when I was
Aw.
teaching,
When you were teaching, you were what?
Miss Fishy.
Oh, Miss Fishy. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of how that all developed. And I had an amazing time. I wanted my donor to go with me, but her daughter was expecting their first grandchild like that same week.
Oh.
So we couldn't go, or she
Makes
couldn't
sense. Right.
go. I went and I won 3 medals and I was so excited because I was like, I'm not last.
Yeah. Incredible.
I finished like, I swam a 400-meter freestyle, like, and I didn't die. Like, they didn't fish me out with a net. Like, oh, so.
Dory, that's so cool. That must have felt so like vindicating, like so victorious, and like
yeah, immediately, you're hooked because you're with literally thousands of other transplant patients
who understand.
You march in like the Olympics, as a team. So we march in as Team Ohio with all the states, and then they honor the living donors. They march in, and then the donor families, and everybody's like bawling because it's like, what they've gone through, and it's
I got goosebumps, man. That's so pure. Wow.
You have to go to one. Oh my god,
that sounds amazing.
So I have a friend on Team Ohio that I met at those little Buckeye games in 2001 named Libby. And she was dating a guy from Team Ohio, and she lives in Canada, but she's a dual citizen. And anyway, so she invited Janet and I to the Canadian Transplant Games.
No way!
That same summer, we went to Newfoundland, Canada, and I did the Canadian Games. So I have done, and all this time, I have been to 4 Canadian National Transplant Games.
Wow.
4 Australian Transplant Games. Yes, I got to be the team manager, design the uniforms. That's what my shirt's from, actually.
Oh, dude, that's incredible.
Yeah. It's like I don't have enough brain power to do all that and teach and everything at the same time. And they let me off of school to go because it was in October. So I got to spend my 10th transplant anniversary in Australia.
Oh, awesome.
So, like, I'm an honorary Canuck and an honorary Aussie, mate. So, it was actually in 2004 I took the team to Australia the first time. And that's where they gave me the name Dory.
That's so cute.
Yes, because Nemo had just come out. So we all had names from Finding Nemo, all the Team USA. So,
dude, that's so cute.
It was so fun. So, and then,
wow.
In 2003, I did my first World Transplant Games. And that will always be my favorite. It was in Nancy, France, in northern France. And my uncle had served in the army and the war there.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. And, of course, I'd never been to Europe. And, oh, my goodness. Talk about feeling like a rock star. They had 30,000 people in their public square welcoming the athletes. I'm going to cry from the world. And I have never missed one since.
Oh.
Yeah. Started out with Nancy, France, to Canada, Bangkok, Thailand, to Australia, to Sweden, to South Africa, Argentina, to Spain, to the UK, and then we had a USA Games that was supposed to be in Texas, but COVID canceled it. But we did it, so we still count that. 2 years ago, Western Australia, and then this year, on August 14th, I'm heading to Dresden, Germany.
Ooh, Germany, fun!
I know. Like,
wow.
Yeah, so considering I got really sick and I almost died this February.
Wow.
Had another I don't know what happened, but I ended up like I couldn't walk, I could barely talk, my blood pressure dropped
And that
to
was just this February of 2025?
February 3rd. I remember it very well.
Wow.
Yeah, I just got really sick. Had to call the squad, ended up going to the ER. And here my blood pressure was like when I checked it at home, it was like 70 over 50,
Okay.
like almost like passing out material.
Wow.
I just remember I couldn't think clearly. I was just like, I was like, I got to figure out what's going on here. And my hemoglobin dropped from, because I get that checked every 2 weeks because I get shots for anemia. It went from 11.3 to 5.1 in those couple of days, I guess.
Wow.
I don't know, like, I don't know if I just had like some massive hemorrhage like during this time. I don't know. Like, we still don't really know what happened, but yeah. So,
Wow.
and I remember, I know I kind of jump all over the place, but I
That's
remember
okay.
the ER, my best friend, came and sat with me. I was like laying there crying, and I'm like, but Lord, I want to go to Germany. And oh my God, like, I've been out of the water for like 2 months because I feel like poop. And
Oh.
I didn't know what was going on with me. Like, I thought I was in kidney rejection, or I didn't know what was wrong. So,
Wow. And you guys still don't know?
no.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what did they do to help you with that?
Well, they gave me 2 blood transfusions, and I get tested every 2 weeks. And just last week, I had an iron infusion that takes 4.5 hours through IV. And then 2 weeks before that, I had another one. And then I get checked every 2 weeks for hemoglobin levels. And they give me what is called an epogen shot, which boosts your hemoglobin.
All right.
I don't know the reason, but transplanted kidneys don't often produce high enough hemoglobin, which means
Okay.
oxygen flowing through your blood, which affects your energy levels.
Makes sense.
It's like,
Clarity of mind, everything.
yeah, like, don't up here. I'm going to the games. Like,
Yep.
like
Wow.
we have a joke about the games. We call them the steroid games. You can't participate. Like, yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah. So, I mean, I am blessed with this huge transplant family, and
Yeah.
I've served as like a Team USA swim team manager, Team Ohio swim manager for years. Been on the different, Team Ohio for Life boards. Just anything I can do to promote the healthy lifestyle before and after transplant, and of course promote transplant itself, and just promote my miracle. Like, I feel like God gave me this beautiful miracle, and the reason I go by Dory is because people are like, is that your real name? Like, you're kidding. I'm like, no, it's not my real name, but this is why I'm named this.
Yeah.
it
That's
gives
awesome.
it gives me an open window to talk about something that's really serious. And you here you are. Well, you've seen me in action talking to
Yep.
strangers.
Sure
Like,
have.
what I've learned to do, because you don't know who needs to have that seed planted. And a lot of times people aren't open to maybe the spiritual end of a miracle if they don't feel well. Like, even though they're crying out for one, they might not like be as accepting of hearing about that. But if they, I try to believe that that's the way God chose to heal me, because of the ripple effect it has had on my life and the lives of others. Like, Janet's daughter became a nurse and is working with kidney patients. And she had no clue what she wanted to do.
Aww.
And,
Yeah.
I mean, just cool things like that. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Dory,
It's,
that's incredible. Because it's like, hearing your story, it sounds like you went from, like, you were tired, you often, like, fell behind, and you were shy, and you've been through some hard things. Like when you were only 17, you were told, you can't have kids, you have this chronic kidney disease, and you had a stillborn son, you've had, your husband leave, you've had to leave jobs that you loved. And
Yeah.
so it's like, wow, there's all of this tragedy in your life that you've experienced. And still, you have, sometimes migraines and pain and random near death experiences
Yeah.
and, constant fatigue. But what's so beautiful is hearing the redemption of your story and the hope
Yeah.
that you have made connections with, sounds like lifelong friends.
Right.
Your friend Janet,
Janet, yeah.
Janet, who is willing to give her kidney. You've met these incredible people in these games
Yeah.
that you have gotten to travel the world. Like you developed a new thing that you love, swimming.
Oh,
And you are obviously not quite shy anymore. You're passionate, and you pursue, what is best for people and giving information and glorifying God. Like you're very, your purpose is very clear. Like it's so beautiful.
my miracle,
Yeah, it's so
But,
cool because it's like it could be so easy to it could be so easy to feel just the weight of all that tragedy. And even though you're not hiding those things, like you're like, yeah, that was hard. And still, it's hard. Like when we started this call, we were both like, yeah, it's a tired day, like, but it's so beautiful.
like, the Lord like just gives you this inner strength, when you most need it. It's like, I just feel like all these connections, they're just all because of miracles that he made possible. Because,
Yeah.
some people are like, oh, technology is so great. Surgeons are so great. I'm like, yes, all of that is true. But all of that knowledge, all the knowledge we have for everything we have here on this planet was created by God. It wasn't created by us.
Yeah.
There is nothing new on the planet. God knows
There is
everything.
nothing new under the sun.
And I'm sure he is like, I just like often, when you hear of bad things going on, I'm like, Lord, like why does it have to go on? Do I need to I can give these people a list of 1,000 things to do today. That would be better than doing horrible things to people. Like I can't understand that frame of mind. Like I'm very like life centered and grateful centered, and I have my moments, trust me.
Right, yeah.
I had my very, very deep valleys, but
Yeah.
like I said, without my faith and without prayer and people, others lifting each other up, like I've been lifting you up since I met you, and
Yeah.
you me up, and the things that go on behind the scenes, like in the spiritual world, like they mean everything. The rest of this stuff is just, it's stuff you got to make it through. Like I don't always understand why. It's like, why does a newborn baby die after 49 minutes? Or why did he have to? Like you just don't know. You don't know why. And
Yeah.
why do people die waiting for organs when there are so many organs that are going to waste? And why do people trash their bodies? I'm like, your body, your engine is like, if you could pick the greatest sports car, the coolest sports car you ever had, are you going to put junk in the engine? No, you're going to feed it the best gas. You're going to wax it. You're going to clean it. You're going to wash it. You're going to dry it. You're going to, whatever. You're going to,
Yeah.
get it new parts and all that. So with your body, you only get one chance, unless somebody else. It's like you don't walk into a spare parts store for a kidney,
Yeah. Right.
You have to depend on someone else's heart. The human part of that is, I think, what I love the most, because especially now I appreciate it even more every day, because it seems like people have become so less hands-on, so less communicative. everybody's always on their phone or their computer. Like people are just not making human connections.
Mm-hmm.
When you're talking organ and tissue donation, that's a very cut and dry life and death matter, and it can't happen without other humans saying yes.
Right.
Even in their time of tragedy, it's like amazing, or it's like, like my donor going through surgery, like it's,
Hmm.
sometimes it still blows my mind. And then I have met people along the way who've decided to become altruistic donors, and that just means they don't even know someone who need a kidney or whatever, but they're donating it anyway. They're
That's
like,
incredible. Yeah.
yeah,
That's
it's like
beautiful.
three people. I'm like, and then you meet the donor families, and sometimes they'll meet the recipients of their little boy or girl or little baby heart, and they'll get to hear the heartbeat beating in another person and see.
Oh, wow.
I know, it's like I've seen that. Like sometimes it's done privately, but I've seen it like live on stage at some of the
Oh,
transplant games.
yeah.
It is the most incredible thing.
Yeah.
That in your time of grief, like you made that decision. That's another part of the education is please educate yourself and make that decision and tell your family ahead of time so they don't have to struggle with what decision to make.
Yeah.
So it's pretty clear, in the Christian faith that
Yeah.
that's a good choice to make.
Mm.
Um, and it's actually the same in almost all religions in the United States. There are no religions that are actually organ donation, and a lot of times people think it is, or they don't know, and they'll just use that as an excuse. And so
Yeah.
that you kind of just have to get one-on-one with the person, and you have to make it personal. You have to, but not to bug them. If they're not interested, then you just move on. But it's like, okay, if it was your child that needed an organ to stay alive, what would you think?
Right.
How would you react? What would your decision
Yeah.
be?
If someone wants to give an
Yes.
organ, like being an organ donator or anything else you were talking about, I know like you can also donate like blood or bone marrow and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
If people want to do that, like where do they even start? Where do they go for that?
Usually they have what they call OPOs, which is organ procurement organizations, and depending on your state, sometimes there's one, sometimes there's two or three. Ohio has three of them, three or four
All right.
that cover different areas. But the best, I guess, the one place that covers everywhere is UNOS. It's UNOS. It's
Okay.
United Network of Organ Sharing, and you can go there and put in all your information. You can do it at any BMV. You can register, and you can even do it online. Um, it's one epic yes to save up to 8 lives and enhance the lives of 75 people and give sight to 2 people. I have met people who were blind and never saw their family until they received a cornea.
Oh, wow.
Uh,
That
yeah,
must be so beautiful to witness.
yeah. It's like this club I'm in. It's just the ultimate. So yeah. So the next, if you're interested in meeting a lot of miracles, you, Leah Ann, should come to the 2026 Transplant Games of America. And you can just search TGA 2026. It's going to be in Denver, Colorado.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah, so you can come see me sink or swim.
And when's that?
It is June 18th through 23rd.
Oh,
That's the next Transplant Games of America. So,
so cool, Dory.
um,
Aw, dude, that's incredible. Thank you so much for sharing your story. If you had like one final message for people
ooh,
listening, for people who are chronically ill, or for people who, know people who are chronically ill, right? Like Janet, who was willing to give her kidney.
yeah,
What is one final thing you would say?
ooh, um, I would say the biggest thing is, as a friend or a mentor, listening to that person and just understanding that they don't feel well, and sometimes life is hard and that they need extra encouragement, and to really focus on the prayer part. Just encourage them, like even if you send them a little Bible verse or a note, or I'm praying for you today, or and just like to other patients, like a big part of our group is encouraging each other through the hard times. And um that's why, like, being in like the transplant sport, and we have all different kinds of things. We have like 5Ks, badminton, ballroom dancing, 3-on-3 basketball, track and field, darts, golf, lyric life for people who sing. We have pickleball, yeah, swimming, table tennis, Texas Hold'em, because we're having some things for people who maybe are older and not as active, or just not
Texas Hold'em.
get there. We have trivia challenges. We have a virtual triathlon. We have volleyball. We have youth Olympiads. Our youngest competitors are once as young as 3 years old, and going all the way to the roommate for the World Games. My friend Barbara from Buffalo. She's had her kidney 26 years, 1 year longer than me. She's 2. And we're flying to Germany together.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. That's so cool.
Girl, so, and it's the celebration of life. That's so, it's kind of like, it's a fierce competition, but it's the camaraderie that overrides everything. And even though obviously you're not going to speak everyone's language, but we one language, which is what our Father in heaven intended, and that's the language of love.
Oh, okay, Dory. Okay, that's beautiful. All right, so your last word of encouragement would be to give time for those suffering and to encourage them.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Awesome. Yeah. Oh, well, thank you so much for sharing your story. I think absolutely this will help a lot of, I hope, this will help a lot of people struggling with chronic kidney disease, or with any other chronic illness. And
it's the board, because struggling with the health is struggling with your health, like so many that goes on. So one day at a time.
Yeah. And hopefully, if nothing else, maybe you'll encourage, maybe you would have inspired someone to give, to donate an organ. So
I said, there's no greater gift than a person who lays down their life for a friend. So
yeah. Beautiful.
That did for us. So why wouldn't we do that for another?
Yeah.
Something to ponder.
I love that, Dory. Well, you've given us lots to think about. All right. Well, thanks so much. It's been a really great joy talking to you, Dory.
Stay in touch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, my dear.
All right. Thanks so much for interviewing with me.
And take good care of yourself.
Yes, you too. All right. Bye, Dory. Thank you for being a part of the Christians with Chronic Illnesses community and for tuning into our podcast. Please follow, rate, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Patreon. You can also follow our socials at CWCIPodcast. If you're interested in sharing your God-given story, we'd love for you to email us at CWCIPodcast@gmail.com. This podcast cannot substitute for medical help and is purely for encouragement and entertainment. Please see your doctor before trying anything mentioned on this show.